Kunja Bihari. Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Rama Rava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jannavallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Gopi Jannavallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Vrajenda Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajenda Ranjana. Yamunate Ravanachari. Yamunate Ravanachari. Jaya Rama Rava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jannavallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Vrajenda Ranjana. Yamunate Ravanachari. Jaya Rama Rava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jannavallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Vrajenda Ranjana. Yamunate Ravanachari. Jaya Rama Rava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Menandi Hari Hari Bo. Oh, the altar is closed. In one sense, one can say this is also today a Bhakti festival. If one see this on the altar, these different pictures and drawings and artificial work, from the youngest to the oldest. No? The oldest is Balakrishna with his backdrop. It's amazing. The senses are captivated. And that is what the Govardhan Lila is actually. No? Everybody is fixed on Krishna, and this for 7 days. No, without any interruption, without any eating. That's a very intimate Lila, very special Lila. So I have some different verses today over even different chapters. It starts with Krishna lifts Govardhan Hill. And I want to say a little bit about, more closer, then maybe higher that I can read. I want to say a little bit about the motivation. about the motivation of Krishna, something a little bit about the motivation of Indra, who was completely in his false pride, and even the motivation of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. So let us start here. I just read a verse, and then we, in the Sanskrit, and then we read different verses and different kind of explanations. Apatvati ulva nang vasham ativatam shilamayam svayagaviyate smabir intro nashaya varshati. Sri Krishna said to himself, because we have stopped this sacrifice, Indra has caused this unusually fierce, unseasonable rain, together with terrible winds and hail. By my mystic power, I will completely counteract this disturbance caused by Indra. Demigods like Indra are proud of their opulence, and out of foolishness, they falsely consider themselves the Lord of the universe. I will now destroy such ignorance. Since the demigods are endowed with the mode of goodness, their false pride of considering oneself the Lord should certainly not affect them. When I break the false prestige of those bereft of goodness, my purpose is to bring them relief. Purport. The demigods are supposed to be Sadbhava Yukta, endowed with spiritual existence, since they are the potent servants of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita 4.24 it is stated, Brahmapanam Brahmahavir Brahmaknau Brahmanahutam Brahmaivate Nagatavyang Brahmakarma Samadhina. That which is duly offered to the Lord becomes spiritualized. The demigods engaged in devotional service of the Lord by managing various departments of cosmic administration. Therefore, as demigods or as servants of the Lord, their existence is pure, Sadbhava. When the demigods fail to live up to the high position given them by the Lord and deviate from proper behavior, they are not acting as demigods, but rather as conditioned souls. Here we can understand the reason why Krishna wanted to counteract Indra. Indra was acting out of his false pride. So it wasn't a usual thing that nobody knows why, but somehow the inhabitants of Vrindavan were offering Indra these obligations. And Krishna could understood. Krishna understands everybody. He understands the mood of Indra. And he said, I will teach him a lesson. He said, I will teach him a lesson. So this is this incident, and then we come to the next, the glorious of Govardhan Hill. Then the Lord, that is verse 20 to 24. Then the Lord then addressed the cowherd community, O mother, O father, O residents of Vraj, if you wish, you may now come under this hill with your cows. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur provides the following insight in this regard. Ordinarily, a large cowherd community, which included many thousands of cows, calves, bulls, and so on, could not fit under the base of a medium-sized hill, like Sri Govardhan. However, because the hill was in ecstasy, being touched by the hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it acquired unconceivable power, and even felt the hundreds of deadly thunderbolts thrown up in its back by angry Indra to be offerings of soft, fragrant flowers. At times, Sri Govardhan was not even aware that the thunderbolts were striking. From the Hariramsa, the Acharya has also quoted Sri Krishna himself as saying, Trailokyam apiyus sahe rakshitum kim punarvajam Sri Govardhan can give shelter to all the three worlds. What to speak of the simple land of Vraj? When Indra's attack began, and Krishna lifted the hill, the deer, wild hogs, and other animals and birds standing on hill's flanks, climbing up to its peaks, and even they did not experience the slightest distress. But this is a very incident topic, that nobody who was around this Leela was attacked by these clouds and by this rain. I heard, I don't know from whom and when, Satchidananda Swami once was speaking about this. So it is like Krishna was lifting the Govardhan hill, he was emanating in the hill. The hill was in ecstasy, he was even going over his natural distances, and everybody was protected in this. It was called like one can call it like a Govinda Kavacha. It was Govinda who lifted the hill, and he was manifesting his own Kavacha around this. And Satchidananda Swami said that even up to the hill in a peak, the rain was falling apart on distances from the hill away. So nobody was harmed. You should have no fear that this mountain will fall from my hand. And don't be afraid of the wind and rain, for your deliverance from these afflictions has already been arranged. Their minds thus pacified by Lord Krishna, they all entered beneath the hill, where they found ample room for themselves and all their cows, wagons, servants, and priests, and for all other members of the community as well. All the domestic animals of Vrindavan were brought beneath Govardhan hill for shelter. Lord Krishna, forgetting hunger and thirst and putting aside all considerations of personal pleasure, stood there holding up the hill for 7 days as the people of Vraj gazed upon him. So here we have again a purport. According to the Vishnu Purana, Vrajaika Vashibirharsha Vishmitakshay Nirikshita Gopa Gopi Chanai Rishtai Priti Vishparitekshanai Sangstuyamana Charita Krishna Shaila Madarayat. Lord Krishna held up the mountain while his praises were chanted by the residents of Vraj, all of whom now had the opportunity to dwell together with him, and who glanced at him with joyful and amazed eyes. Thus the cowherd man and woman were all elated, and out of loving affection they opened their eyes wide. By continuously drinking the nectar of the beauty and sweetness of Sri Krishna, the residents of Vrindavan felt no hunger, thirst, or fatigue, and Lord Krishna, by seeing their beautiful forms, also forgot about eating, drinking, and sleeping. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that 7 days of continuous rain from the Samvartaka clouds failed to flood the district of Mathura, because the Supreme Lord, simply by his potency, immediately dried up the water as it fell to the ground. Thus Krishna, lifting of Govardhan hill, is full of fascinating details and has for thousands of years remained one of his most famous pastimes. So nowadays sometimes we got an expression in the newspapers what it means if 400 liter water falls on 1 square meter. Now we have all the examples from all over Europe and even Asia and Australia, all over the planet it's happened now. These devastating rains are coming and they are destroying the area where they are. But here we can hear that Krishna protected everybody, no? That even was around the Govardhan hill in a far distance. They were now devastating. Krishna was protecting. So Brahma was speaking this verse before in his Leela. It's a very famous verse. Tateno kampam sushamikshmano bunjana evatma kritam vipakam ritvakva pubir vidahan namaste Shivedayo muktipade savdayabhak. That means that if one is ritvakva pubir with his word and his body making oblations to the Lord, that one is protected in Muktipade. And in one sense one can understand Muktipade as deliverance, but we know from the famous Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with the Bhattacharya that Muktipade has a much more deeper meaning. So the Bhattacharya came when he accepted Krishna, Lord Chaitanya as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he wanted to please the Lord by changing two words in this verse. No? He said Bhakti Pade. And Lord Chaitanya stopped him and said, no, you don't really understand what is the meaning of Mukti Pade. Mukti Pade, Mukti Pad, that is Krishna himself. So Krishna himself is giving the shelter to everybody. And that can we see here in this Leela. It is so intimate. It is so personal. 7 days uninterrupted darshan of Krishna himself. That's amazing. In the morning when I saw the altar, my senses, my eyes were so captivated, I could not stop looking. No? And then I thought, that is what it is. No? Even these kids and everybody who was a part of this altar was thinking for days on it. Now the kids, these paintings are not made in one day. So the kids were meditating about Krishna, and that is what it means, the special intimate situation of the Govardhan Leela. And this is a special mercy, this is the special mercy of Krishna. Brahma was mentioned in this prayers in other verse, Ahobagyam, Nanda Gopa Frajokasam, Yan Mitram Paramanandam, Purna Brahma Sanatanam. How fortunate are the inhabitants of Krishna, because they have their intimate friend is Krishna himself. Yan Mitram Paramanandam, the highest Paramananda, is the mitra of the personal, intimate mitra of the inhabitants of Vraj. Purna Brahma Sanatanam. He is the Purna Brahma Sanatanam. So maybe the inhabitants from Vraj can come to a conclusion that maybe Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if he can do such mystic things, that was always a theory in Vrindavan. They were always thinking about this, the cowherd boys. Maybe the son of Nanda Maharaj is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But nobody knows it, really. There was not a sign. Krishna didn't reveal his identity to them until yet. Krishna was playing his role. He was the son of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. He was the friend of the cowherd boys. But in this Leela, Krishna could do intimate relationships to the Gopas and to the elders and even to the Gopis. No? There were so much eyesight glances going on these 7 days. No? And after these 7 days, that was a real community, and everybody has this full faith. We can trust Krishna. Krishna will protect us in every situation. In one sense, we can say everybody who is born in Vrindavan when Krishna is there, he has already love to Krishna, extensional love. This is Krishna saying to the gopis. He says, from the beginning of your life, you were already loving me. But Krishna is always eager by his choreography in Vrindavan to intense this love of the gopis. So therefore sometimes he is disappearing. He is going away, he's leaving the gopis, and then this intense Leela Smarana is starting. That the gopis there, where's Krishna? And they remember what they have experienced with him and how they have done things together. And even these 7 days of the Govardhan Lila, they remember and they speak about it, what Krishna has done and how Krishna has protected them and so on. And this is the way of purification. This is the way of purification, purify our heart, that we, by the constant remembrance of Krishna. So now we are in the Lila with Mother Yashoda, and it is also just to hear what happens, how, just to meditate about that. One cannot understand it, how it happens, but just to remember how Mother Yashoda would want to bind Krishna, and she was not able to do it. Until one moment when Krishna allowed it, and to meditate about how fearful Krishna was when his mother came with the robe. So now one could see the fear of Krishna. His eyes were wide opened and he wanted to escape, and Mother Yashoda was keeping him and so on. That's a real situation that happens almost in every family. I remember I had a younger brother, and he was always busy in walking around, experienced the town, and someday my mother took a rope and bind him on a tree. He could not escape anymore. So that is, maybe this, my mother doesn't know about the Krishna Lila, so maybe this is common in society, that the young kids are bound up so that they not can escape and do something what is not wanted by the elders. So who is Krishna? That's always the question. Even in the Krishna book. Who is Krishna? Shukadev Goswami said, the cowherd men were astonished when they saw Krishna's activities, such as lifting Govardhan Hill. Unable to understand his transcendental potency, they approached Nanda Maharaj and spoke as follows. Since cowherd man said, since this boys perform such extraordinary activities, how could he warrant a birth among worldly men like us, a birth that for him would seem contemptible? How could this 7-year-old boy playfully hold up the great hill Govardhan with one hand, just as mighty elephant holds up a lotus flower? So that was always going on. The inhabitants, they were always thinking about Krishna, what he did, and then often they said, maybe Krishna is a very special, empowered demigod. And what we have done in the past, an auspicious good, how we had acquired such a good karma, that we are now have the association of Krishna. So here we can see the humble mood of the inhabitants, how everybody was extraordinary, how to say, yes, meek and humble. Nobody was, wie sagt man in Deutschland, eingebildet, to be in the association of Krishna. And what I am perceiving when I'm reading, especially this part of the 10th canto, especially Govardhan Hill, nobody blamed Nanda Maharaj. Why did you allow Krishna to stop this intra-sacrifice? Now we have such calamities. No, there's no part where I speak about this. So everybody was behind Nanda Maharaj and everybody was trusting in Krishna, unlimited, even then. Even if they don't know about his identity. And that's an amazing point. That is an advanced Vaishnava. And then there was later on a Leela when Nanda Maharaj was captivated by the servants of Varuna. Nanda Maharaj, it was after Ekadashi, Nanda Maharaj wanted to take a bath in the Yamuna early morning, and somehow he was not in the right time, in the right time slot to do it. So he went in the water and immediately he disappeared. There came some servants from Varuna and took him away. And the cowherd man, his friends, they were recognizing it. And somehow they were immediately yelling after Krishna. Krishna, Krishna! And Krishna came, and Krishna went too, in the water too. He went under the shore, under the waves of the Yamuna, and disappeared. And Krishna went direct to the palace of Varuna and saw his father, and his father saw Krishna, and his father was very astonished how Krishna was speaking with Varuna and how Varuna was submissive to Krishna. And how Yamuna paid his obeisances and was praying prayers to Krishna and so on. And Nanda Maharaj was astonished, about his son. Who is his son? And then they came, after some time, they came on the surface again, and everybody was very happy to see Nanda Maharaj again, to see Krishna again. And then Nanda Maharaj was telling what happened. Everybody was interested. What happens? Where you are? What happens with you? And Nanda Maharaj told the whole story. And he told the story what happens there, how obedient Varuna, the demigod of the water, was towards his little son Krishna. And the cowherd men, they become wide eyes and they said, maybe Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this was a magical point in this Krishna Lila. And then Krishna revealed his identity. Because that was Krishna wants, that one comes to this conclusion and to accept him fully as the Supreme Personality. And there is this famous verse in 10:13. Janovai loka etasmin avidya kama karmabi avachava shugatishu navida swam gatim brahman. So these are the inner thoughts of Krishna. The verse before is, because he sees everything, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, automatically understood what the cowherd men were conjecturing, wanting to show his compassion to them by fulfilling their desires. The Lord thought as follows. Lord Krishna thought, certainly people in this world are wandering among higher and lower destinations, which they achieve through activities performed according to their desires and without full knowledge. Thus people do not know their real destinations. This is congruent to the verse which we were reading 2 days before. No? So that is, in a certain thing, there is no need for the Alma, for the spiritual soul, to take a material body. It is out of ignorance of how to say it's a lack of knowledge that we are in a material body. And that is the meaning of Krishna's appearing, to protect his devotees and to bring his devotees back to his eternal abode. And then, what happened after this, Krishna showed the cowherd man the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. Everybody could see. So this, because the cowherd man, then they followed, okay, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so what would be our next destination? And now we are here, we are with Krishna, this little boy, and he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what would be our next destination in the next life? And then Krishna answered with this vision. He gave them the vision and showed them Goloka Vrindavan. And everybody was enlightened. with full knowledge. And that is the goal of spiritual activities, to get knowledge. Krishna says, you are in the past, many sages are delivered by full knowledge unto me. This is Mukunda Ankri Nishevayavad. To understand the real purpose of devotional service. That is complete sannyas, complete shelter in the lotus feet and the service of the Lord. With full faith, with full heart, with all the activities, completely. Sannyas. Hare Krishna. Maybe what are your realizations about the Govardhan Leela? I never gave a class about Govardhan. But somehow I found this nice 10 canto where I can read everything. So it's always astonishing for me to hear about, when I hear Krishna's personal words, so there is something happens in me. For me, it was the first time when I recognized Krishna as speaking to me was the Savadaman Parityaja, and immediately I said, okay, I will surrender. I surrender. Now I can understand. That's you. That's always the point. That is what everybody needs. This kind of realization. So we have to stick on one point. We have to stick, and then we have to show goodwill. Everybody, what happens in our spiritual life is, in one sense, first our goodwill, and then in combination of the mercy of the spiritual master and the previous acharyas. But it is granted. It is our birth in a certain understanding. If we think about Atato Brahmachikyasa, that is our birthright, to get shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But it is only happen if we inquire. So we have to inquire, we have to ask questions. It has to come in the first point from ourselves. And that can we see here also. The cowherd men were inquire. So if Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what would be our next destination? So if you are, I also said, if you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who's speaking to me in this verse, Savadaman Parityaja, if you are Krishna, the Supreme, then I will surrender. I believed. I said, oh, let me have a try. Believe in this. I showed a goodwill. And then it happened. I got more and more captivated. Finally, I met the devotees. And very soon I concluded, I want to live with them. I want to stop this material life outside of the Krishna conscious movement. I want to be a part of this movement. See, it is amazing. No? You cannot stop looking. There's so much bhakti, so much details, so much personal visions about Krishna and his mother and the gopis and Govardhan Hill. This is bhakti. This is the Swiss bhakti altar. And Krishna is the center. He is lifting the hill and he is protecting everybody. He's always protecting our consciousness. The only thing what we have to do is to take shelter. Yes?
Yeah, I found the aspect of taking shelter also interesting because Krishna is, first of all, Krishna only starts to do something when they actually approach him.
Please, a little bit louder.
Krishna only starts to do acting when the devotees approach him. Please, Krishna, save us.
Yes. Then Krishna is coming.
And then he lifts the hill, and then he says, "Please come, don't be afraid that I'm not I'm always kind of reflecting, would I go on the hill? Someone holds a hill and says, come on, I would be having some doubts. If I go onto this hill, the boy is kind of...
In one sense, it could be a dangerous situation if the hill collapsed, no?
We're on the hill, and the guy is not, losing strength, and we're all smashing. So the Christian says, don't be afraid, just come, take shelter. And I found this is interesting in the sense that, we need to learn to take shelter in Krishna, to have faith that Krishna will protect us.
Yeah.
It's part of Sharanagati, the 6 symptoms of fully surrendered to Krishna. One is that Krishna will always protect me, Krishna will maintain me. And that faith is a symptom of surrender. It's not an easy thing actually, to really have faith that Krishna will protect me. This is a sign of great surrender. And I think that's also one of the aspects of the Lila that we can reflect about. As you pointed out, of course, crushing the pride is one aspect, crushing the pride of Indra. And the other thing is also that reflection, how much are we ready or willing to actually take shelter? Krishna is offering the shelter, but how much are we willing to accept his shelter?
That's our daily attempt. I often hankering about this. How I can understand that Krishna is not different from his name. I'm chanting the holy names and my mind is wandering away. I said, wow, I can understand it. How I can get more taste. How I can have a deeper faith in the holy names. How I can manifest attraction to the holy name. That's our daily attempts. And through our whole life. It is not ending. That is because we are in a conditioned body and we are knowing this. Even now when the body becomes older, everybody recognizes the senses are not working anymore as before. To perceive the environment of the material world, it is not working. This perceiving is not working anymore as it was before. I cannot hear the high tones. If you're speaking a little bit with a high voice, I cannot. You have to speak to me in a deep voice, and otherwise I cannot understand you anymore. My ears are. I made a test. My ears are not able to hear the high tones, these fine tones. I don't know. Somehow, that is a sign of the age. So therefore, that is also very interested that the body becomes old. So time, Krishna as his form of time is complete mercy. So that even dass sogar der Dümmste versteht, dass es nicht immer so weitergeht. Mit dem materiellen Genießen. Man muss einfach, man hat einen Körper, one has a body who becomes older, so, and one has to become more humble. That's the natural process.
Thank you. I like the point because I spoke about taking shelter, and it's not raining and there is not a hill that we have to go under, but taking shelter in the sense of taking shelter in the holy name. I think it's a very nice point you made. Because the holy name is no different from Krishna. How much are we taking shelter in the holy name?
Yeah.
How much do we understand? Oh yeah, this is actually Krishna. This is the place where I should take shelter. But as you said, the mind goes here and there. That means we are not taking shelter.
It is a natural thing for everybody, but not everybody is in the association of people with intelligence, with udaradi, is broad-minded. Akama savokama va moksha kama udaradi. For becoming to this, if one is full of material desires, or no material desires, one has to inquire about the Lord. But this is not only possible with udaradi, with a broad intelligence. So, but I think also many of us has inquired about the truth in the childhood. Yesterday I visited my the daughter of my sister, she is living here in Zurich, and she has a little son. This son is 3 years old. And even when he got born, I told her, give me the charge, and I was looking, and I said to her, this son is very auspicious, a special kind, that's a special birth. So, and then yesterday, he was in the Tagesstätte, and then he came later on, and he was accepting the prasad. It was the sweets, and even the samosas. The samosas were a little bit spicy, so he ate the samosa, he ate everything. And then she told me, the very first question, what he was asking with 3 years, who is God? No, not who is God. Why? What is that? No? Yes. What is that? I said, look, this kind is special. So that is, we have all questions, and sometimes the kids also have remembrance of the past life and of their goodwill. But somehow, if we are coming in bad association in society, it will cover it. And therefore, it is so important for us that we are sharing the association amongst each other as devotees, behave as devotees, and give us strength in this society of Krishna consciousness. That we are keeping together, and in our endeavor to chant the holy name, to take shelter in the holy name, and took shelter in the service of the Lord on the altar, and spreading these missions. Nothing is more pleasing the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as spreading these missions. That is the most important thing. And by this, if one is spreading these missions wholeheartedly, everybody is protected in all circumstances, in all directions. Nothing can harm us. If this desire is arising in our heart. Because that means we are not praying for ourselves, we are praying for others, we take care for others. We see the miseries of the world, we can understand the miseries and the quarrels of the world, and we want to change the consciousness of our classmates, our schulmates, our our national mates, whatever. Hare Krishna, let us always chant Hare Krishna, take shelter in the holy name, and please our spiritual master. Maybe more questions or comments?
I have a question.
Yeah?
Because the Vrajabas, they took shelter from Krishna, but at the same time they put the sticks to help Krishna.
That's natural, because they don't know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is always the hidden questions in whole Vrindavan. No? Is Krishna? Who is Krishna? Maybe he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So everybody, and naturally everybody, if Krishna is there, everybody wants to render service. Everybody wants to help Krishna, because they don't know, they are not aware about the potency of Krishna. That's a loving exchange. It is a sign of loving exchange. And Krishna takes. Krishna said, no, not needed. No, Krishna takes the service. No? He accepted, and he's smiling with them. No? He's smiling. Nice to help me. Yes, I accept your service. Krishna always accepts the service. Even the service of the spider in the Ram Lila. The spider, yeah. There was this little spider who was throwing dust particles to build the bridge to Lanka. And Hanuman was laughing about him. Wow, what is this? Huh? He has no power. What is this? It's only dust. So I have these big stones, these tops of the hill, and I can build really a bridge. And Ram said, no. He is doing devotional service. So see the attempt. And Krishna always sees is seeing the attempt. He don't see the result. But Krishna is the result. He is the power of everybody. Krishna is the power of every living entity. He is the life, the sum and substance. Svayam Bhagavan. So everybody is coming from him. Whatever power a living entity has, it is his power. And that is what Krishna wants to show in this Leela. Because Indra was so proud. I'm Indra, I am the king of the heaven. That is his attitude. But Krishna said, I want to teach him a lesson. That is one reason. No? There's a multifarious. That's a Bhakti festival. No? Govardhan Leela is a Bhakti festival of every inhabitant, everybody who is under this umbrella is offering his bhakti to Krishna. He's taking shelter, but simultaneously is giving his bhakti to Krishna. He's seeing Krishna. He's thinking about Krishna, what Krishna is doing for him. He is helping, maybe he is helping Krishna. He's completely absorbed about Krishna. Therefore, he don't feel any need of the material body. For 7 days, any need, normal need of digestion or whatever from material bodies is out of work. It is under this complete energy of Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. Loving relationship. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for your lecture. Just one thought came to my mind that not that you were saying to me is that when you told about the festival of Bhakti, that actually it's very unique that Krishna is associating with everyone under this hill, and so all the five rasas, like all the relationships are there, and
Yes.
it's so wonderful how Krishna really creates this unity and family by lifting the hill where everyone is actually they are kept there and they cannot go out and they don't want to go out, and that's very wonderful. And also I thought of Srila Prabhupada, how he wants to create this atmosphere where the whole world can live in, and it's very beautiful to take shelter under this hill of Srila Prabhupada also.
That's the amazing point, that every different rasa of these rasas are manifested in this Leela to full extent. The gopis are full of love for Krishna. See, oh, what is this wonderful boy, how strong he is, and how effulgent simultaneously. He's doing such a heavy work, but somehow it looks like he is lifting a flower. And simultaneously he is glancing about us, he is shaking with his eyes towards us. And the parents seeing, wow, this Krishna, this nice boy, the son of Nanda Maharaj, look at him, how he is protecting us elders, us parents, and so on. And the boys, they see, wow, that's our Krishna, he is really a hero. He is so strong. And he is doing it like in the same mood, like he's during the week he's playing with us. Yes, everybody has his personal relationship towards him. And by this Leela, this relationship becomes strengthened more. It becomes more and more intense. Yes?
Actually, it's also said that the gopis, because previous to this pastime, all the other pastimes like Kiniputana, Trunvarta, Bakasura, usually always the gopas were, they saw Krishna's kind of powers, how he killed demons. Others would not see, the gopis would not see this. And the gopis would tell, oh, Krishna did this, Krishna did that, but sometimes people would not believe, oh, come on. But here, everyone could see.
Everybody could see, yes.
And the gopis, dances in the books, says that their gopis really fell in love. Of course, they always felt that love for him. But when they saw him dance, that was like when they really fell in love. And also when they saw him lifting the Gopala hill, it was like they could see him for so many days, and the attraction really became intense. Seeing that.
This point is very interesting because, how you say, the Gopas more near Krishna, and because of the culture, the Gopas are very chastity. Yes, only see Krishna when Krishna go to counters to forests. Yeah, very distance. Yes, and after the first time of where Krishna took the clothes, Krishna said to the gops like wife, that is the marriage. After this happened this first time of Govardhana that they have the approach, and after this the things are increasing. More 4 or 5 chapters. The Kumar is the Dasa dance. They have this evolution and the increasing, yes, the taste in Krishna is very, very exciting. You accompany step by step. This is Krishna, it's development.
Shri Govardhan Leela ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Yeah, imagine if you were seeing Krishna eye to eye 7 days, what it would be change in your consciousness. Yeah, let's have a try. We have the power of imagination by our mind. No? That means we have a mind, and mind is a very, very mystical thing. In one sense, it can track you down to the lowest identity, but in the other sense, this mind can allow you come to the highest destination. No? That's a really powerful, mystical thing. I'm always thinking, wow, what the mind, it's such a wonderful thing. Hare Krishna. Bhakti Bhushan Maharaj ki jai.
So he is telling, after we are chanting the name of Krishna and always remembering, and all, then the very lowest people that they are getting those, they are getting so opulence that they can do also yagyas and like this opulence. So he's asking Sukadeva Goswami, I think Sukadeva, he's asked, so what can we say about the person who really see Krishna?
Yeah, okay.
So that's why I'm thinking.
This is 33.
Pardon?
Chapter 3, 33.
33, 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah. So I was thinking, who is the people that seeing Krishna? Is the guys mentioned, no? So now I think after your explanation, actually the Vrindavan Vasis, they see Krishna directly. Yeah.
And we are praying every morning to the spiritual master. This sloka, Sri Radhika, same in the kunjas towards Vrajenda.
They also actually they are.
And if we are meditating about this,
Mhm.
we are connected.
Mhm. We also connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we are thinking about it. So we are, and our minds become purified and our heart
Yeah.
becomes brilliant.
Yeah, still now we are not thinking like that, but yeah, okay, it's also a person like so some
Now this is a great
but we had to,
offense. That's what Krishna says. Charya,
actually
Charya,
yeah,
famous
yeah.
verse.
We had
So
a
don't ever think that the spiritual master is a common
normal
person.
person, no. So we have to meditate like that, yeah, that he is always assisting Krishna and always
And then all the good things,
companion to Krishna.
good things happen in our heart.
Yeah, yeah, that's nice. Thank you. What is your good name?
Vrajenda Kumar.
Vrajenda Kumar.
Have you been married? Last time
Last-
was last.
yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Ryan, Mr. Ryan was there. And you was also there.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
I think, yeah. Sunday you have also class to our Tamil community.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
What should that be?
Yeah, now actually we are doing every Sunday Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita.
Now we are last Sunday we spoke 1841.
1841.
Yeah, now 1842.
1841. This is this verse about the super soul. Krishna says.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
This is the space where Krishna says,
Radharani declared in the Bhagavatam in the Vrajenda chapter 22, I remember, that in Govardhana is the biggest devotee of Krishna. Whole body serve Krishna like in Govardhana. Because the Govardhana for give all things to Krishna. Yes, give grass to cows, give caves and places to pastime, give fresh water to Krishna, give trees with fruits, everything that Giriraj makes to serve Krishna. Ele fornece tudo para os pacientes de Krishna. Must be served.
Thank you. I think for you.
Yeah.
Very nice. Jesus.
I think so. Yeah, the style is of the China, no? Yeah, you put it like in China. Today, the river is one, Hare Krishna, Shiladika, Bhavani, his husband. All of it was here. I saw the last
So lovely.
Make a good power.
What is the recipe? It's actually one part is savory. I do sweet. I do.
One, the same part of sugar.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, very
It's,
good.
I don't do and even cooking for Krishna. It's like it's 3/4 butter, but I do same part of butter.
Yeah.
It's really. Isn't it? And how many parts of water? It's 2 parts. It's double of
Yeah,
the semolina,
double.
isn't it? Not 3. It's not times 3. I'm not sure. No, it's 1
Generally, I heard the double of the double
of the semolina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same, one part of semolina, same part sugar, same part of butter, and double
Double.
liquid of butter.
Sometimes I make like 3 times, but I think it's more for harina, so it won't get so fast. How you say?
Especially today, we need
Strong.
more hard, yes.
Yeah.
Hard.
So I make
Because
double.
the devil is I like a very stosa, more wet, but today is in the hard help.
I think 6 years ago, I also did physically with my seva. I was one of my seva in Kumar.
Very special. Yeah.
Then there was discussion. Maharaj,
How do you?
I do today, I do. Wow. So yes, yes, but was how to do. If I could use oil, and I said, if you use oil, you can use it. Maharaj, I said, we should keep Krishna in the room. It's not mutton chore, it's
Yeah.
oil chore.
And
We used to love.
we tried the two ways, yes, with butter and ghee. Butter is much better. Like even the
But it's like,
the best to have is butter.
thank you very much for Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Pascuite Korea.